We are recording.
Nice. Do you have your coffee?
Good morning, Emina. Yes, I have
Morning.
my coffee this time.
You can't
And
even
yeah,
see
I've
my
actually
coffee. Look,
I've got
it's
a Game of Thrones Lannister mug,
oh my God,
which
not
which
Lannister.
which I won in a
Not a good
raffle.
look. I have my cat. Look, my cat one that
Oh,
you
very
got me.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Good morning.
Morning.
SEOs Getting Coffee. Yeah. So the basis of this is obviously just to talk a brief catch up, a weekly catch up, to talk about SEO stuff over a coffee, and yeah, just have a chat really of anything that's new or anything that you've been working on,
Yeah.
and hopefully other people find it interesting as well. And then at the end of the call is banish something to room 404, which is just like room 101, which is something that you can get rid of completely down in the memory hole, get rid of it. So yeah, we'll start. What did you want to start with something today, or do you want to just jump straight into talk about September and October
Yes.
content updates,
I think,
core updates?
that's the only thing that really is on everybody's mind, isn't it? Like we had the September helpful content, and now we have this bam October one, and it's like thrown so many things up in the air. I mean, I'm wondering whether they kind of like whether the helpful one didn't go as planned and stuff, so they had to roll back some of the stuff that they did in September.
Yeah,
Look
I've
at the stuff
seen.
now, and it's a bit crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, I've seen quite a lot of people asking the question or complaining really, and kind of asking whether Google actually knows what they're doing at the moment to have so many updates and kind of large updates in such a short space of time, and a lot of people complaining, but also rightly so as well, because I think people are questioning, because usually you can obviously see which sites have been rewarded, and why they've been rewarded, whereas I think in this case, I think you're getting a lot of some kind of in the SERP, like some search terms and some kind of industries and some particular terms are kind of almost as if it's broken the SERP. So you're getting, you're actually not getting any helpful content. You're not actually getting your question or query answered, and it's actually destroyed the top results. And people are questioning that and kind of saying, well, what are you doing?
There's a
Google.
lot of kind of a lot of like user generated stuff, isn't there, as well,
Yeah.
because like Quora and Reddit, and while I completely understand how that fits into like EEAT and things like that, we got to be careful with it, because whether those responses are actually legit responses and who they're coming from is a little bit more different. It's different on these platforms where you can have like a user account and you can just like put your opinion out there.
I saw something funny that someone was saying that loads of people are rushing to get forums added back to their websites.
Back to the old, remember, like, I don't know how many years ago, one of the strategies in SEO was like get onto forums and try to kind of like put your links in forums and all of that stuff. So it's interesting that I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it? Because of everything that's been happening with, AI and stuff. This emphasis on EEAT really makes sense.
Yeah.
So.
I think. I think the key things there, especially in the September update, is that I think there is method in that kind of madness that has happened, and I think there are things that you can take from it in the sense that I think a lot of niche websites or affiliate websites are basically people that are that exploit that, or manipulate that market, I guess, where they can get a site ranking and they can then obviously develop some kind of affiliate scheme, and use affiliate links and develop that kind of niche website industry where then they can have affiliate links on their site and make money from from commissions and things. I think a lot of those websites have been hit, and obviously that's caused a big stir, but I think it's because what obviously Google's trying to combat against is that very kind of surface level analysis and reviews of experiences, whether it be a
It's
product
your
or whether it
rankings
be
based. Yeah, you don't do it because you are, an expert in the area and because it's a lived experience. You're basically manipulating search results, which has never been a good. These strategies always, in the end, end up biting you in the bum.
yeah. But I
You
think
backlinks and stuff like that. It's the same thing, isn't it?
and I think, yeah, but I think the controversy comes though is because actually some legitimate people who, yeah, they have these niche websites, but actually their content is really good. So they've gone from obviously it just being a niche website to actually developing a brand or developing a business. But even those guys have kind of been hit as well. So I think there's a real mixed bag between actually the people who are doing it well and doing it good are also getting hit potentially unfairly, as well as the people who are doing it, kind of a bit meh, and they're like, it's kind of a poor version. It's like, they review Amazon products you can get on Amazon, but it's very surface level. They don't actually have the product, and they've never have. They've just reviewed them by looking online and writing, and with assistance from ChatGPT or whoever, or people that don't actually have an experience of using the product.
But
So yeah, so I think it's a real mixed bag.
Get smarter, because this is how it is every time when you have like these big updates. What happens is that you have this complete volatility. I mean, this time around it's a bit ridiculous, but you have this volatility where Google is kind of rolling things back and learning from it. We need to kind of remember that Google is also trying to make sense out of this sea of information online that's only getting bigger with AI content. So it's insurmountable, the amount of like effort and power that you need to make sense of this.
Yeah.
So
I think the kind of key takeaway, I think, is that, I think it's encouraging website owners to build a brand and a business rather than build just a site. And I think that's, that's probably, a lot of people would say that's a push in the right direction. I'm not sure personally, I'm not sure whether that is the right way, but I think that, because like I said, you can still have a website that's a great source of information. It doesn't need to be a business or a brand. There's that side of things. You can still get great information from some of these websites that are not actually a business or, or a brand. But the push that way obviously is also a positive and a benefit, because it does go down and hand in hand with that EEAT, kind of change that would do, and changes and importance that we're seeing, because it's encouraging people to obviously build a brand and a business that is developed and is an authority in that industry, in that space. So you have all of these signals coming in from various sources pointing at your brand and your business to kind of say, look, we know what we're talking about. We're the experts, therefore we should, be rewarded.
It brings it back to like marketing. This is one of the things that has happened, is, which I personally hate, is kind of this SEO is, while it is its own expertise, obviously, it's part of this bigger ecosystem of branding and marketing and stuff. And you shouldn't be just focusing on, rankings and the strategies that all the SEOers were, using are no longer valid. And that, for me personally, I think that's a positive thing, because it's much more complex than that. It's SEO is these days much more complex, and you have to look at the right blend of channels and how they work together. So
yeah, absolutely. I think that's the key, isn't it? Is, if you do, if you are one of those people that has, does suffer negatively from one of these updates, is that, if you've got a really good and well-developed email, database and email marketing list, then you've got, something to rely on there. Or if you can, transition into a different marketing channel to, obviously, so if your website has, lost traffic, and you've got another channel that you could try to utilize in order to kind of fill that gap while you've obviously tried to get the recovery. So it does obviously show the importance that, not to put all your eggs in one basket and to, kind of solely focus on SEO.
Definitely not. And it's also needs to like work in tandem and support it. The channels need to support each other and work towards the same goal. And that's also what EEAT shows you. It's not just about your website, it's about your presence.
Yeah.
Your presence isn't just on your website. So
yeah, and the individuals involved as well. And
yeah, of course. I mean, the personal brand is more important than ever, across like social media, SEO, all of the channels, and how it kind of influences the overall like success and growth of a company. It's crazy. Right.
Yeah.
Mindful of time. What are we 404ing?
Did you want to talk about anything with authors or anything like that? Because you've been looking into that a little bit.
You know, I could sit here for the next half an hour, but we can do that next time. It's a big.
We'll talk about authors because it transitions nicely on. So we'll talk about authors next time then.
Next time, authors, I think.
So yeah, room 404. If you could get rid of anything, so I'm going to bring something to the table which I think a lot of people will probably want to get rid of at this time, and I think everyone could probably guess what that is. But room 404, what I'm putting forward today is GA4, Google Analytics 4. Let's room 404 that.
Oh, God.
I think everybody's got their own difficulties with that transition and how they've moved to GA4. But yeah, that would be my thing this week to get rid of.
Not this
simply
week,
because it's just so hard.
Week.
It's so hard to use every week.
Every week, it's like maybe we can have GA4 as a resident of room 404.
Yeah, well, I mention it every week.
Yeah, it's been crazy. Particularly, I've been hearing this month has been crazy for some. You know, I'm part of like the SEO technical group, Women in SEO technical group, and a lot of people have been saying that they've had like crazy results this month. So yeah, let's I agree. GA4.
Yeah, I think the most annoying and frustrating thing is that it's very difficult to find things that you used to be able to find very quickly with universal analytics. So you can't just go in anymore and just find that quickly. You've got to, you know, spend, I don't know, half an hour trying to actually find the same thing that you used to be able to find in 2 minutes.
And they lull you into this state of false comfort with, you know, the custom reports look very similar to some of the reporting that you have in some amazing SaaS products like HubSpot, for example. So you see how the UI looks and you think, oh, brilliant. You know, I'll be able to sort this out quite quickly because you've seen that UI in other platforms. But no, actually, it does not work like that.
It's taken a little bit longer to get used to than I'd planned, and there's still a lot more getting used to. But I think one of the funniest things that I saw recently was that somebody had said that actually, if you wanted to develop a very successful SaaS business right now, is that you could basically just try and get funding and bring people together to fund rebuilding an independent version of Universal Analytics. And you'd have, I don't know how many signups you'd have straight away.
Put it on GoFundMe, you know.
Yeah. And just have just somebody to rebuild Universal Analytics, and everywhere. I'm sure that would be an instant success. So yeah, but that's a good place to end, I think. So yeah, thanks for the coffee. I'm pretty much finished. So yeah, have a great rest of the day. I'm sure we'll catch up in a bit anyway. But yeah, thanks for the weekly catch up, Emina, and see you soon.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye.